If you're wondering what we're doing, we're training for the Teachers vs Students netball game today.
Okay, Kino, that's enough warming up for the netball game.
Fine.
We need to get this video.
Oh my god.
Kia ora, and welcome to Active Kids TV.
Ko Kento Toku Ingoa.
Called Max Toku Ingoa. What a week it has been at Breen's.
We have started working on our science projects and we hope everyone is on track to finishing.
The ski trip, Koru Games and Science Fair is on next week.
We will now pass you over to Alex, who will be interviewing our special guest, Whare, about his career.
Hi, and welcome to Active Kids TV. I'm Alex, and I'm here with Whare to talk about his career as an actor and a cameraman. What was your inspiration to become an actor or a cameraman?
Hey, look, thank you so much, Alex, for interviewing me. It's my pleasure. Let me deal with the cameraman thing first. I watched a lot of movies when I was young, probably as you did.
Yeah.
And I saw one film in particular, it was Star Wars, and I must have watched it about 5 million times.
Great film.
Great film, totally agree. And I said to my mother, how do I work on this movie? I need to work on Star Wars. I think I was about 4 years old at the time. And so I wrote a letter to the director, George Lucas, and sent that overseas to the United States, to Marin County. And I got a letter back months later, kind of like you did, like when you wrote Christopher Lutzen the other day and you got your letter back. I got a letter back and it wasn't from George Lucas, it was one of the office workers there. And they just basically said, look, unfortunately, Whare, for you, we're not going to be making any more Star Wars films anytime soon, which turned out to be a complete lie, you know. Obviously, years later, they make a whole lot more, and I didn't get to work on them at all. But they did say, you know, thank you for your letter, and perhaps you would like to join the fan club. And then they said, may the force be with you.
How original. So how old were you when you decided you want to start filmmaking?
Well, that's from watching movies like Star Wars, that was my total focus from about age 3. I was, how did they do that? How's that special effects made? When that exploded, who does that? How did they film that? And so all those questions came up. And so I think how I became working in film was simply by asking those questions all the time. And there weren't many opportunities like you have today, Alex, to learn about film and television. So back then in 1991, all I knew what to do was there was a local TV station called TVNZ in town. And so I'd finish school, get on my bike and go straight down to TVNZ and just wait outside in the hope that one day somebody would say, come in, kid, which did eventually happen.
How did it happen?
Well, from going there after school, day after day, I think initially they were worried. They're like, why is this kid hanging outside of the TVNZ studio? And then one kind cameraman one day said, come inside, help me out. And he was a cameraman in the studio, very much like your guys' studio. And he had a big long cable that went all the way to the control room. And so my job became the cable dragger. And so I do little menial tasks as a young, 11, 12, 13-year-old, and then just slowly build my way up. And that's how I kind of got into that side. Acting, though, the other part of the question was acting. I first did some acting at primary school, I think, and it was for a Christmas play. And, you know, with Jesus and the three wise men and the camels and stuff. I played the donkey. But the donkey's butt. Role. So there was another guy that was the head, and I was the donkey's butt. So that was my first acting role ever.
That is a great role to play.
It was one of my favourite roles.
So what films have you been part of now?
Okay, so in the past several years, one of my first films that I was ever in was a movie called The Stolen, and that movie is about 1860s, like a period piece, 1860s New Zealand. And it's about a family that has a farm and they have all these workers there that look after the horses and the cows and the gardens. And I'm one of those workers. And I'm very jealous of the people that own the farm. So I decide to steal their child and run away. I get killed in the first 15 minutes. I get shot for my trouble, for trying to steal the child. So that's me. That was one of my first films that I was ever in. More recently, I'm in a film called Invisible Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And I am a crazy conspiracy theorist that lives out in the forest by himself.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty crazy. I find lizards and then I drink their blood in the hope that I could one day turn into a lizard.
Oh, that's very brutal. So, if I wanted to become an actor or a cameraman, what would you say is the best way to achieve that goal?
I think really, really, really good questions. There is no right way. I would say a conventional way, or a way that most people do it, is you would go to drama school. So after you would finish up in high school, you maybe have a year off, have some life and do some cool things, and then you would think about going to a place in Wellington called Toi Whakaari. And what that basically will do is, they're a drama school, and they'll give you all those basics and all the skills that you need to be able to go out and be a good actor. So you might work with your voice for a few months, and you might work with your physicality and how you move. You might work with who you are as a person and who you're going to be. I think it's important to mention that I didn't really want to be an actor early on because I'm not the prettiest guy in the world. And so I always thought that you had to be good looking to be an actor. But real life's not like that. And movies need ugly guys too.
Well, that is all we have time for. Thank you, Whare, so much for taking this time to talk about acting. This is Alex from Active Kids TV, and this is Whare.
My pleasure. Thank you so very much, Alex.
Thanks for sharing with us about your amazing career, Whare.
We will now pass you over to Bennett, who will be interviewing about Oppie, an amazing robot.
Kia ora, I'm Bennett and I'm here on Mars. It's pretty dusty, as you can see, but what I'm really here to talk about is Oppie. Oppie has been on Mars discovering new things for quite a while now, and Breens Intermediate is pretty lucky to have the opportunity to see the movie Oppie with some of the NASA people and about his journey. And that is all the time we have for today. And as you can see, it's pretty nice here on Mars. We'll pass you back over to Max Akinto. See ya.
Thanks, Bennett, for sharing us about Oppie.
Now we will pass you over to the weather. Sam.
Phew, back on Earth. All right, here we are running the weather today, Sampo Barnes. All right, we're going to start at the bottom of our South Island here in New Zealand. Invercargill, cloudy, high 15, low 6. We're going to move up the island a bit now, all the way to Dunedin. Dunedin, cloudy, high 13, low 6. It's a nice day. We're heading into summer, so that'll be good. Still a couple months to go, though. All right, now we're going to go to Christchurch. Christchurch. What are we doing in Christchurch? Active Kids TV. Christchurch, cloudy, high 17, lower 6. Nice in Christchurch today. All right, we're going to go all the way up to Hokitika. Anytime now. All right, Hokitika, cloudy, high of 12, lower 9. We love it in Hokitika. Nice waves, good beaches, and now we will move up more. A bit of trouble with the pointing. Wellington, light showers, high 14, low of 11. Still not very good in Wellington, but hopefully it'll warm up. New Plymouth, partly cloudy, high 20, low 14. Quite nice in New Plymouth. And we are in Whakatane. Cloudy, high 14, low 10. I got the pronunciation right. All right, we're going to go all the way to Auckland, biggest city in New Zealand. Going to Auckland, high 16, low of whatever. And Kati, mostly cloudy, high 15, lower 12. Thank you. This has been the weather of Active Kids TV.
Thank you for sharing with us about the weather, Sampo.
Well, that's all we have time for today. I'm Kinto from Active Kids TV.
And I'm Max.
Haere rā.